Right, you all fired up?
Mm-hmm.
Just go, just wipe that round. Get all that off there. Dusty. Can you see clearly now the rain is gone? Okay, right, you ready to finish up?
Always look funny.
Yeah, I think that's because I'm in the garage. Okay, well, Joe, welcome back. Today we're going to do a little bit of a midweek roundup. It's Tuesday at time of recording this, and for tomorrow's video, Wednesday, I have not got any time this week in the middle of the week to do a standard ordinary fabrication video, much as I like to do that. But the problem is my day job is a little bit diverse. Sometimes I do all sorts of weird stuff, and what I'm doing this week is 12-hour shifts, Monday to Thursday, so I haven't got any time to do it. Just got everything worked up, and was it 9:15 at night now at time of recording this. Hopefully this will be up by tomorrow morning, and that's because of just what we're doing this week. But what I have got, because of the result of that, is I've got Friday and Saturday and Sunday off, which is pretty cool, because on Friday I'm going to have a monster session in the garage. I'm going to try and kick on with this belly pan and actually see if I can get it anywhere near finished. I really am. Just going to try and get all the construction done on it, so it's bolted on, it's all buzzed around and finished, and flap this down so it's ready to paint. I'd like to possibly even get some paint on it so I can move on to the tail, because I'm so excited about getting onto the tail section. I've got a plan now for the tail, and I really want to get kicking on with it before I go off the idea of thinking something completely different. So there we are. So today I'm just going to do something a little bit different for midweek video. Just some questions, don't we, Pam?
Yep.
We get common questions asked all the time, things that came up again and again. They're kind of long-term questions from those of you who watch the channel avidly, people who watch what we do, you follow very much what we do, a bit like a soap opera, and you've got long memories, and you ask about things that we did long ago that seem to have obviously interested you and engaged you at the time, but we don't do them anymore. So I'm going to answer a few of those, because those particular questions are clearly important to you. I want to get them knocked down out of the way so you get those answers, and it'll be, there we are, we can move on from there. Right, the first one, ready for these, Pam? Oh,
yep.
By the way, Penny Bissell's back. Welcome.
Thank
and
you.
Not under the patio.
No, I came out for today.
I mean, there's one of the questions, isn't it? Keep getting asked, where's Penny gone? Why is she not in the videos anymore? Right, the reason that my lovely wife Penny is not in the videos is because the monstrous sessions in the garage, the 4 or 5 and sometimes 7 hours in the garage, it's not really fair, is it, to ask her to stand in the garage with the camera for 6 or 7 hours. Also, when we're fabricating in here, when I'm fabricating in here, it's noisy, it's smelly, it's dusty, it's grit, there's swarf flying around. It's not a nice environment for your birdie girl.
So he just sends me to work instead.
So I send her to go and earn a living for us. Well, someone's got to do it. Someone's got to go and do a day job. Right, okay, so we're going to answer the first one. The first question we get quite a lot is, there's a little bit of a Q&A here now. So the first one is the drill press. What's that drill press? Where'd you get it from? And the funniest one is, have you got a link? Oh, that's hilarious. Let me show you this. A little while ago, in fact quite a while ago, isn't it?
A couple of years.
A couple of years ago, one of our very most loyal viewers, a chap called Dan from, where is he?
Suffolk.
Suffolk. Dan from Suffolk. He said, look, my father-in-law, I think it was.
I think it was his father-in-law.
Yeah, I know, Dan, you'll be watching, my friend, so I do apologise, that's not exactly right, but Dan said, look, his father-in-law had passed away and he had some tools in a garage, like you do when an elderly relative passes away. They often have some really cool old vintage tools, stuff that they had all of your life, and they don't need them anymore. So what he did, he passed it on to us and said, look, would you like it? If you don't need it, then send it back, but if you do, you can use it, and this is it. It is a Stanley Bridges drill press, and I keep getting asked questions about this all the time. I'm sure all of you know what a drill press is. It's one of them things. You put a drill in it, and you can press it downwards, so you can drill precision holes. It's probably, I've done some research on it, because I love vintage tools. Are they cool, Pen? Don't you think so?
Yeah, I love anything vintage.
Anything vintage. I think if you go in today's version of Machine Mark, so if you live in Murica, that's probably Harbour Freight or something. And I think Machine Mark and Harbour Freight are sort of similar. You can buy drill presses in the catalogue from about £25, but she went on eBay, didn't you? And you can buy things like this, these vintage ones, from the same sort of money, can't you?
Yes,
you know,
yes,
20,
you can.
£30. You can buy yourself one of these. These were made, as far as I can research, anywhere from 80 odd years ago back up to about 40 years ago. So this is between 80 and 40 years old. It could be sort of 1950s, 1960s, I don't know, but it is really heavily built. You can see what it is. You know, it's a pretty straightforward tool. It's a pillar at the back. You see the big things you have in school. If you're anywhere near your 40s or 50s and you did metal work at school, or if you work in an engineering firm, you know what a pillar drill is. It's the big tall pillar, and then you pull the handle down and it makes a big old drill and a table, proper engineering tool. But this is a kind of poor man's DIY version. You stick your actual electric drill in it, and it's just a frame that holds your drill, and when you press the handle down, it presses the drill downwards in a straight, direct, perpendicular drill. So you get precision holes, and you get one of these to go with it, a little tiny hand vise. That's always known as a hand vise. You've got slots in the bed being this bit at the bottom, and the slots in the hand vise line up with the slots in the bed, and you bolt it down. This had little wing nuts on it when I first got it, and you put the piece in there, do it up, and you can drill holes. That's what it is. It's a Stanley Bridges drill press, probably about 50 years old, donated by our friend Dan, along with a few other things, wasn't there at the time? Some materials, there was some nuts and bolts and spanners and various other materials like heat shrink and stuff, just like a bit of a garage clear out, I think is what it was, and it's been enormously helpful. And as it stands, this is probably my favourite tool in this garage. I absolutely love it, not least because it's a vintage tool. It's not a brand new one. New ones, they're not the same. I mean, when you look at something like that, my new Bosch professional drill, absolutely fabulous. It's got variable speed, reversible backwards and forwards, hammer action, clicktronic drill chuck, so you just twist it and it does up, and a clutch in it so it doesn't stick or jam. Absolutely fabulous tool, loads of doability on everything. All this drill has is on and off. 2 seconds. And the principle of that is it's great. That's what they used to have. It's got a different voltage setting for 110, which is quite interesting because I guess they were made universally back in the day. But it doesn't come with all the features, but it's solid. It's made out of metal. It's not plastic body. So if you're going to go and buy vintage tools, there's a certain cool about them. They're not very versatile compared to modern tools, but there it is. So that answers that question. It's a Stanley Bridges drill press, probably about 50 years old, and I absolutely love it.
Put it on your Christmas list.
Yes, you can put it on your Christmas, but it's not expensive really, is it?
Nope.
But if I was to bother going through there, this is my favourite book in the world ever, isn't it, Penny?
Yes.
You could ask for one. You could ask for one of those for your Christmas list. Come on, boys, that's how it works. And girls, necessarily. There's girls now doing a lot of stuff in their garage. You could ask one of these, £20, £25, put it on your Christmas list. And it's not like you're asking for something like a bandsaw or anything, is it, Penny? Okay. Second question. Sorry, did I say that with my outside voice?
Yes.
Okay, second question, Harley videos. Where are the Harley videos, and will you make any more Triumph videos? Well, yes, of course. I own a Harley and she owns a Triumph, so yes, we will. On the Triumph, we've got, what's your mileage at the minute?
5.5.
5,500, so 6,000 is the big sort of May or the interim service, so we'll be doing that very shortly, and that's quite a cool service, something you can do. The long major service involves valve clearances, and I'm not even going to go there at this point. So the 5,000 service or 6,000 service on the Bonneville bikes is really cool, really easy. So that'll be coming up shortly. Where the Harley's concerned, my Fat Boy needs a service in the new year. I'm going to wait till the new year comes, and I'll give that a full service right the way through, everything, including all 3 fluids, the primary, the transmission, and the engine oil. And also when we do the engine oil, I'm going to do a purge change. I'm actually going to show you how to purge the oil on a Softail, so you get an extra pint of dirty oil out of the engine that normally when your dealer changes it, they don't change. So yeah, lots more Harley videos. Any modification, any repairs, any upgrades, and any servicing, yes. So they will come, just not all the time. You know, we do what we do, don't we, Ken?
Yes, that's right. They're our everyday bikes.
Our everyday bikes.
Yes.
What comes up, so yes, we'll do that. Next question was rattage and the General. What's happened to the General? Are you going to do any more ratting? Well, yeah, it's kind of a long-winded answer on that, isn't there? And it works a little bit like this. Now, because when I bought the General, which was what, 3 years ago?
Yep.
I bought an orange ginger-coloured Tiger 955i, and I paid about £3,300 for it. It's a lovely bike with 19,000 miles on, and it was really immaculate. And I just painted it matte black and used it and used it and used it, and I carried on and made it. I wouldn't say it's a rat bike. It's kind of a little bit survival. It's a little bit contrived. You know what the bike is. You've seen all the videos we've done on it, and I am now, because I don't use it anymore, I'm going to put it up for sale. So there's a little bit of an announcement. Stop press. I think it's the right thing to do because, as you can see, I mean, we've got 5 bikes in this garage and no room to move, very little room to work. Whenever I do a video now, as you've seen in the last few videos, I have to put the General outside when I'm working in here and then bring it back in, so I'm struggling for space. This, obviously, when the fighter comes off the bench, then I'll have a little bit more room, but it's going to be there for a good while yet. So if you're interested, the General is for sale. The General, which is my Tiger 955i, it's this isn't an advert, I'm just kind of giving you a heads up. I might put it up for sale shortly, I might put it on eBay, I might not. I really don't like eBay, I don't like selling things on there. For what it's worth, the obvious question will be how much. It's a 2005 model with the alloy wheels, with a slightly better upgraded engine. It's the right one to have. If you get the early model Tiger 955s, they've got a few problems which they can be a pain in the arse with. But that bike will be about £2,000 if anybody's interested. If it was a nice shiny bike, it'd be 28 to £3,000, 31, 32, depending on who's around and what time of day it is. But as a matte black bike, it's got a full set of luggage, heated grips, full bodywork, and everything on it works. It's a well-maintained bike. Tyres, chains, sprockets, brake pads. Brake pads are all new, but tyres, chains, and sprockets, they're all about halfway through their life. So as a bike for sale, it's a good prospect. It really is. £2,000, not an expensive bike. Drop us a line if you're interested. All right. No point in putting how much would you take for cash, Del, because I'm not interested. £2,000 is what it's worth all day long. If I can't get that for it, it's not much worth selling it, to be honest, because that much money, £2,000, I could put into this. I could feed that money into this build. I would absolutely love to buy a fat back end for this. A big wide arse tail end kit, 300 section tyre, something absolutely mad like that, and transform this bike into something that it was never going to be. So I need income for that. I need some money to put towards it to invest, so I can cross invest one into the other. So if you're interested, yes indeed, you can do something with that. So the general where it stands as far as rating is concerned is that's it. It's going to stay where it is. If you're interested, let us know. Drop us a line. What was the other thing? Plans for the VFR. Right, now that links in quite nicely. Have a look over there. A lot of you ask about this thing. It's a bike that we got from George Milburn at Tech Bike Parts. Now if you come on back, and I'll tell you what it is. A little while back, probably about 3 years ago, I made friends with George Milburn, who owns Tech Bike Parts. He's a good friend of mine, and in the midst of all of it, this and that, he said to me that he'd had that hanging around in his workshop for a couple of years. He started working on it. He let an apprentice do a little bit of work on it, and it's kind of a properly unfinished project. It never went anywhere, a few blind alleys. He was going to make a bit of an adventure bike out of it, and it was cluttering up space, and it's been sat for a long time. There's no logbook for it, no documents. But since it's been here, I've managed to get the HPI clear title on it. I'm sending off the logbook, so I'll have a proper clear title. So that is going to be a donor bike for the next build after this. So when the Street Fighter is finished, the Street Fighter will be for sale. That comes to no question in a minute. The VFR will be a stunt bike build. I'm not going to do stunts on it. I'm just going to build it because I can't do stunts. I can fall off in monumental style, but I can't do stunts because I'm just shit at it, to be honest. And I'm too old and I don't bounce like I used to, and it hurts more when you fall over. So honestly, I will build something interesting out of that. Probably a rat stunt bike, something that doesn't matter too much. Because if I'm going to get rid of the General, then something to ride in all the filth and salt and crap is going to be essential. And that might be something I can put knobblies on. You've got a single side rear end. There's so much potential for a really cool, fun bike with that. So that could be the next build after. That's what it is. It's a bike we got donated from our friend George, and it will be for next year's build 2017. And it's already October, so it's not going to be long before we get stuck into that.
You better hurry up then.
Better hurry up then, yeah. Now the Street Fighter, there's a common question. Is the Street Fighter going to be for sale? Get that quite a lot actually. Yes it is. I'm not going to ride it all the time. I'm not going to keep it. I'm not a collector of bikes. I actually don't really like having too many bikes. I wouldn't have a big collection of machines. I'm not Jay Leno, and even if I had his money, I wouldn't have a massive collection of vehicles. It just doesn't interest me. I'd rather turn them over and have different things. So yes, the Street Fighter will be for sale. And the other question we get is how much would it be? Well, who knows? I don't know. It depends how much we end up spending on it, because we want to get the money back that it cost to build, and a very small token amount towards the hours. Now obviously in a minute, where are we? 188 hours up so far, and I don't know, we could even be halfway by now. So if we're halfway, you could be looking at maybe 400 hours, and if you put £5 an hour on it, you can see how it could be.
God, you're cheap.
Well, I know, mate. I get that a lot. I get that all the time. Proper cheap me. But that's the point, isn't it? I'm doing it because I want to do it. I can't charge like you would a garage, but if you just put a value on your own time, if that costs 400 hours of your time, you put a couple of grand, I don't know, what's it worth? So who knows? That'll come when it comes, but I want to get it finished first. I don't want to get too far down the road with it before I start, getting diverted from it. Okay, prize draw giveaways. Remember we gave away a crash helmet, didn't we? We gave away a fantastic crash helmet, and it was a really cool success, and a lot of you have asked, are we going to do any more? Yes, I do like to do some more. I've got to get on the scrounge really. I've got to get hold of some suppliers over the course of the winter when it all goes quiet. I'm going to go around the bike shop suppliers. There's the clothing shops, people like Helmet City and the like. We're going to have a little chat with them and see if we can do a bit of a deal with them, and we can get some parts and we can get some sponsorship stuff, so we can start doing some more giveaways. And that all just depends on how scroungy worthy I am, how good I am.
How good I am.
Do we know anyone who can play a violin? We can go along there and play it. And obviously we'll exchange a little bit of exposure and promotion for the said donating shop to the channel, so we can do it that way, and then you get competition giveaways. Right, the next one was, that's the other thing, the final thing, live streaming. It's almost every week now. Are you going to do live streaming? You know, I really want to, I do. This is obviously a recorded video, but I would love to do an interactive live streaming video. I've now worked out that it isn't actually that difficult, because kind of me and IT are not friends. We're really not. My buddy Mike Wrench knows more about IT in his little finger than I know in my whole life. Honestly, I'm not brilliant with IT, and I'm learning how to do this stuff. Editing the videos is what I focus and concentrate on. But when it comes to the live streaming, you have to do quite a few things to set it all up correctly. You can do it all and waste your time. I've seen a few people do it, and it really looks cool, great fun, interactive. Your questions coming in, answering them there and up. So we might do, if I can work out how to do it, yes, I do want to do a live stream Q&A, and perhaps we'll get Dave over for it. We'll get Mr. Dyson.
Mm-hmm.
It could get very silly, couldn't it? And
yeah, probably.
very messy. Very messy indeed. Right, so there we are. I'm going to leave you with that point. The General is for sale. So if you're interested in buying, or if you're interested in owning the General, that's Tiger 955i. It's a 2005 model, full service history. It's got 12 months MOT on it. Tyres, chain sprockets, all good, and it's a perfectly serviceable, usable, and utterly reliable bike. If you need a bike for winter and for every when, it's like buying a Land Rover. That thing is absolutely awesome. You know, I could probably sell it to myself actually. I'm pretty impressed with it. It's also got full luggage. You've got the full original Triumph luggage with it, and the big Oxford back box. So it's got a big 3-box pack luggage. So proper all-weather, all-conditions touring bikes. If you're interested, drop us a line underneath. It's going to be £2,000. I'm not really interested in haggling or what's your best price for cash deal. You know what you get, because there's no need. At that price, it's a gift. It's a cheap bike. I'm not looking to profit from it. I spent £3,500 on it when I bought it 3 years ago. I think it's worth £2,000 all day long, don't you, Pen?
Yes, and it's got a private number on it.
And it's got a private number, so we could do that either way. Actually, we could do. If you want a really interesting registration number, then I can do something with that as well, maybe. Because it's just like £100 to take it.
Let's just talk.
Let's just talk.
Yep.
Let's talk turkey, baby.
Yeah.
Turkey. Right, I'll leave that, shall we, Pen?
Yes, because it's past your bedtime.
It's now 9:45 nearly, so this has been 40 odd minutes just to sit and do this. Hopefully they've answered some of the questions that you asked, and I'm really sorry if this wasn't an interesting and fun video, but hopefully we've answered some of the things that you ask constantly over and over again and dispel a few of those myths.
News
So,
round.
yes, news round. John Craven's, who remembers John Craven? What's he doing these days? Country File, I think, isn't it? Something like that. There we go. Thanks for watching. Take it easy, ride safe. Ta-ra, Ben.
See you soon.
See you next
Bye.
time. Bye-bye.